All right, this is a 164 voice, 10 minutes.
I'll be plaintiff's attorney, Ms. Parrilli, Parrilli.
I am the witness.
I am the court.
And I am defense Mr. Ogle.
And it starts with me. What happened then?
Oh,
Where are you at?
on line 16, I'm sorry. On line,
I have no further questions.
Your Honor, again for the record, now that I have just been given an opportunity to observe for the first time approximately 20 additional pages of police reports that were not provided to myself or my office before, I feel that I am unable at this time to fully cross-examine this witness to the extent that is required to provide adequate assistance as counsel to my client.
How much time do you need?
I would ask for a minimum of 10 to 15 minutes.
All right, the court will take a 10-minute recess. All right, are you ready, counsel?
Given the time limitations we have already discussed, yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right, we have taken a 20-minute recess. I didn't want to rush you.
I have had an opportunity to complete reading the reports. As I have pointed out to counsel, it appears that portions of statements from some of the witnesses are missing. Counsel has assured me that even the police department cannot, as of this time, find those statements.
They are not statements of any witnesses who are going to testify today.
All right, you may cross-examine.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Rodriguez, on April 12 of last year, where had you been before you arrived in the area of 13th and Broadway?
I was coming down from 11th and Jefferson at Old Man's Park.
Did you walk to get to 13th and Broadway?
Yes, sir.
How long had you been in the area of 13th and Broadway before you ever saw Mr. Diegas?
Oh, I was down there about 15-20 minutes.
How long had you been at Old Man's Park before you left there?
I had been down there all day, all the time.
On this particular day of April 12th of last year?
I had been there all day before. I walked to Broadway.
Is Old Man's Park close to where you lived on April 12th of last year?
Yes, sir.
To get to Old Man's Park, did you walk there?
Yes, sir.
Prior to the time that you saw Mr. Diegas on April 12th last year, had you ridden on any AC Transit bus that day?
No, sir.
Prior to the time you first saw him on April 12th last year, had you ridden on any BART train that day?
No, sir.
Had you been in a BART station that day?
Yes, sir.
So you were in a BART station, but you did not ride BART.
Yes, sir.
What did you do in that BART station?
I went down there and asked some people to give me some of the bus tickets so I could jump on the bus.
Okay, these were bus tickets that people would get while they were inside the paid areas of BART.
Yes, sir.
So these were bus tickets for the use of BART customers.
Yes, sir.
As far as you knew, they were not for the use of persons like yourself who were not riding BART.
Yes, sir.
But you went ahead and asked people to give you these bus tickets anyway?
Yes, sir.
How many people did you ask for these tickets?
I asked about 3 of them.
Did anyone give you a bus ticket?
Yes, sir.
How many people?
3 of them. I had 3 BART tickets.
Why did you take 3 BART tickets?
I just took them for the hell of it.
You only needed one for yourself.
One for me and my brother, but I had got an extra one for the hell of it.
Did your brother go to the bus station with you?
He was waiting upstairs in the BART station right on top of 11th and Broadway. That is where we got them at.
He was waiting on the street?
Right on top of BART where the escalator comes up.
He was waiting by the sidewalk?
Yes.
He never went down with you.
No, sir.
You actually went down to where the gate is?
Yes, right there by the gate.
Did your brother go to Old Man's Park with you earlier that same day?
He didn't go with me, but that is where we met, right there.
Do you recall about what time you met your brother at Old Man's Park?
It was in the afternoon, say somewhere there.
And did your brother stay there at Old Man's Park with you until you left?
Yes.
Now, while you were at Old Man's Park, did you have in your possession any knife?
No.
Did you have in your possession any gun?
No, sir.
Did you have in your possession any weapon?
No, sir.
To your knowledge, did your brother Edwin have any gun or knife with him while you were at Old Man's Park?
Not that I know of, sir.
In and around April, was it your custom to carry a weapon with you?
No, sir.
As far as you knew, was it the custom of your brother Edwin to carry either a gun or a knife with him?
Not that I know of, sir.
But you have in fact carried weapons with you on other occasions, isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
Is that something that has only happened once? Or is it something that has occurred more than once?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, on at least one occasion you have walked the streets while you were carrying either a gun or a knife. Isn't that true?
Yes, sir. I just got out of jail for a knife, a concealed weapon.
Just now, you mean?
No, about a week and a half ago.
And what jail were you in?
Oakland.
Now that concealed weapon, did you ever go to court for that?
I went to court, but they threw it out. They said they could reopen the file over
Were
here.
you arrested by the Oakland Police Department on that?
Yes, sir.
Where were you when you were arrested for carrying the concealed weapon?
Excuse me, are you talking about something that happened just a few days ago, a week ago?
Apparently so, Your Honor, the last few weeks.
That is when I went to court.
Does this hear any relevance to the present charges, to the date of last year?
I submit that it does, Your Honor. Number one, it is character evidence.
There is no objection. Go ahead. I was just curious.
Thank you. Now, where were you when you were stopped by the police for the concealed weapon?
On 10th Street, in between 10th and Grove, or 10th and Jefferson.
Were you walking down the street, or were you standing still, or were you in a car?
I was sitting on a porch, but the Arab at the store called the police on me for something else. The police stopped me for it, but when they called the police, and since the Arab didn't press charges, he took me to jail anyway for the knife.
What kind of knife was this, please?
It was a buck knife.
Do you mean it was a non-folding knife?
It was a folding knife.
Now, was that the first time you ever carried a knife around with you as you were walking the streets?
That's right, yes, sir.
You never ever carried a knife with you before?
No,
Isn't it true that in August of last year you were arrested for possession of a concealed weapon?
not that I would remember.
Do you recall going to court here in Oakland sometime prior, on or after August 4, and eventually pleading to a lesser charge with the exchange of the concealed weapon charge being dismissed?
For karate sticks.
For karate sticks?
Yes.
When you were arrested for possession of those karate sticks, where were you?
Let me see. That was 13th and Grove.
Were you standing, walking, or in a vehicle?
I was standing.
What were you doing at that location?
I was twirling the sticks around. That is when the police seen me twirling them around and arrested me.
Was this in the daytime or nighttime?
In the morning time,
Do you recall about what time?
10,
Why were you twirling the karate sticks?
because I had found them on the tree. They were hanging on the tree. I grabbed them and I started twirling them around. The police seen me and arrested me right there, then and there.
Did you tell that to the police?
Yes.
You told them you had just found the sticks?
Yes.
Other than those two occasions that we have just talked about, the one in August when you were caught with the karate sticks and the occasion a few weeks ago when you were caught with the buck knife, Have you ever been in possession of a knife, gun, or other weapon?
Objection, irrelevant.
Objection will be sustained.
Other than those 2 occasions while you were walking on the streets in downtown Oakland, have you ever been in possession of a knife, gun, or other weapon?
Objection, irrelevant, overbroad.
It is overbroad. Council suggests that you narrow it down as to time.
Now, sir, you are now 20 years old, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And at this time, you were about 15 years old?
Yes.
At any time during the calendar year, we are talking about while in a public place, did you ever have in your possession a knife, gun, or other weapon?
No, sir.
Prior to April 12, outside of your home, did you ever have in your own personal possession a knife, gun, or other weapon?